actually go next door. The 4 races that we've talked about, elf, dwarf, human, and hobbit, and more importantly, the classes that we created for Middle-earth. We took a slightly different approach for classes for Lord of the Rings Online. Now, the classes themselves are still role functional in the way that you'd expect in an RPG, so you still have most of the class roles that you would expect. But our approach was really to look at Lord of the Rings itself and choose basically different types of archetypes that the books present, and bring our races from, bring our classes from that. So, for example, Gandalf or Legolas are a very clear archetype in the world. So our lore master, which is our magic user, or our hunter, come from those archetypes. Now, they still tend to represent the class roles that you come to expect, so that players can come do the RPG functionality they expect. So, for example, your captain is basically your paladin, or your rogue is represented by the burglar, or your tank is your guardian. So all the roles that you need are there, but it has a lot more depth to it and flexibility. We have a full crafting system in the game. I'd be happy to answer more questions about it later, but there's 10 crafting professions grouped into vocations, and all the functionality that you'd expect, going out in the world, gathering things that you need, refining them into raw materials, and then using ingredients to pull them together into valuable objects in the world. Our approach to crafting is very similar to what we've done in a lot of things in the game, is to basically build it into 2 tiers of complexity. We know we're going to have a broad audience for this game, so we want things to be both accessible and easy to play in the beginning, but also really deep and complex for people that want that kind of gameplay. We talk a lot about chess with the designers, about the fact that chess is a game that you can go out and grab and get another person and play, and the rules are very easy to understand, and you can get a game going pretty simply. You may not be great at it, but you'll have fun, or you can spend your life pursuing depth and complexity and sophistication, and we want most of the systems in the game to feel that way. So in crafting, we have your proficiency path, where you can basically go through all the professions and learn how to do them fairly well and get all the ingredients and all the recipes available to you. Or you can spend lots and lots of time and become a master crafter. You can master any of the professions along the way, and when you reach mastery, the whole effort of crafting changes for you, and there's a whole new level of it where you can actually create very, very rare items. You can create large volumes of items and actually have third ingredients and raise your crit levels for all the crafting that you're doing. So there's a lot available to you in crafting in Lord of the Rings.
The Guardian is a protector of the weak and defender of those in need. He is capable of withstanding mighty blows and retaliating in kind. The true Guardian stands to the forefront of battle, shielding his allies from the blows of their enemies.
Again, in the game, we try to immerse you in what's happening as often as possible. So as part of your class selection, in addition to races, you'll have some class movies that kind of give you a sense
The Guardian is a protector of the weak.
Give you a sense of what that character can do. Advancement. Basically, the most important thing about an MMORPG, there are 50 levels at launch. There's over 400 skills, depending upon your class. You'll have different skills available to you. They become available as you advance throughout the game. Different types of vitals and statistics that you might expect. Morale and power being the most important. Morale essentially health, and power basically, you could call it mana. It basically is something that you need to draw on for certain skills. Resistances and abilities to fire, to poison, to different types of vulnerabilities. These are all characteristics that you get at the beginning of the game and that increment as you advance throughout the game. So this is a fairly straightforward advancement where you can expect what's happening as you level up. What we've layered on top of it, though, is a whole other layer of advancement to give you a lot more unique abilities to distinguish yourself from other people in the game. So what we have in the game is what we like to call traits. There are deeds that you can do throughout the world. So as I'm exploring through the world, I can do deeds of lore. So for example, if I'm looking for all the shards of the Numenorian kings and I find all of those, that will grant me a particular deed in the world. Or I can have a slayer deed, where if I've killed 1,000 orcs, I become Orc Slayer. Or I can be an explorer and explore all of the Shire and find all the landmarks of the Shire, which gives me the deed of being the explorer of the Shire. So these titles and the traits that come with them are things that I gain through my natural exploration of Middle-earth. So beyond just combat and fighting, I have a lot of things that I can gather to enhance my character. And as I get these titles and as I accomplish these deeds, I get traits, which are these special attributes that I can put on my character. And they're equipable, so I can put them on and take them off, and they enhance my skills. So they either add to my skills, They give me skills that I don't normally have access to. Or in the case of legendary traits, legendary deeds, which I can make at a higher level, they actually unlock skills that are not available to me to that point. So this is really exciting. What this does is this lets me customize my character, customize my gameplay experience. So depending on the traits that I've collected, the titles that I've collected, you and I can be the same class, the same race, the same level. We can have all the same equipment, but we have collected these traits, and there's hundreds of them in the game, and equip them differently, so our gameplay is different by choice. And this is something that you can continually respec. So you're not set with a build that you choose at the beginning of your gameplay experience that grows in a linear fashion. You can constantly update and change your build and customize it to be different for the kind of game that you want to play. Really, really important and really, really fun. It also means that it's a form of multi-classing. So if we're doing a pickup group and we're going out to fight and we don't have the magic user, and I'm a hobbit, and the hobbit is not normally, a hobbit burglar is not normally a class who's going to be using magic, but if I have explored the world and gathered the right kind of traits, I can suddenly use magic for a short period of time. So this is a really, really important part of the advancement in LOTR. There's another layer to it, which is the virtues themselves. These deeds come with one of the 20 virtues of Middle-earth, whether that's wisdom or valor, justice, all these things. So you're also building sort of the personality of your character. You know, I have high wisdom or very, very high valor. It affects your gameplay. It also affects sort of the perception of the kind of character you're trying to create, which again, really important for Middle-earth. This is a place where those things matter. So between everything you can do for your race and your appearance, and all these traits and skills, and literally 10,000 or more items that you can collect throughout your experiences, there's many, many ways to differentiate your character from everybody else in the world. I think that's really, really critical. This is Middle-earth. Obviously, a social experience is important. We've done a lot of things to try to make that experience as full as possible. For example, you can create your own family in Middle-earth. Now, what we're launching with is really just the beginning, but you can create your own family tree. So I can choose to adopt someone in the world, or they can choose to be adopted by me, and then our titles will actually display that. So, so-and-so, son of so-and-so, or father of so-and-so, and it begins to start to create that feeling of lineage, which is talked about a lot in the books, and the fact that where you come from and what your family history is really, really matters. It's another great way for people to connect themselves to each other in the world. Fellowships, which are parties, groups of up to 6 that you're going to go and explore the world with, and feats, which are these group attacks. If you are with a party and you have worked together and you learn how to do this, there are actually group fellowship skills that you could use. So one of the party can put your opponent in a defensive state, and then everyone in the group can actually participate together. Hopefully we'll get to do that today when we're next door, but it's really, really fun in that you all get to choose to do a coordinated attack together. So one person will start it, and everyone else will get these colored gems on the screen to choose from in real time. And depending on what you choose, you'll get a different, really, really cool, much more powerful attack. And again, we talked before about chess. It's the kind of thing where with a pickup group, if I just go ahead and do this, it'll still be fun. I'll always get a cool result no matter what I do, so it's always fun. But if I really learn how to use it and learn what the right sequences are, I can make my party much more powerful. Raids, obviously very important. We have all different sizes of large raid type events. We have stepped instances that you can do in a party. You can do 4, 5, 6 people. We're going to have large 24-person raids in the game. And then there's raid-like experiences that you'll see a little bit of today in Monster Play, where we have actual controllable keeps and land areas and resources that large groups can raid and then take over and actually control until someone takes it away from you. So there's a lot of cool raid-like experience in the game. And you can also spar. So you can duel with somebody in the game. We call it sparring because it feels right in Middle-earth. We don't let you do it everywhere. You can't really have hobbits and dwarves whacking each other in the middle of the prancing pony, but you can go out back and beat the crap out of each other if you want to. So, and it seems lots of people like to do that. And then we give you as many tools as possible. Our chat system is very configurable. One of the cool things about Turbine is that we've built many of these games before, so we're working on an engine that's established a lot of this stuff. So we're tweaking and enhancing and revising rather than starting from scratch. So, chat channels that are configurable. There's an IM client built into it, which is really great to use. We've got regular chat or bubble chat if you want to turn it on in the game. Some people like to do that. There's voice chat, fully supported voice chat in the game, integrated into the game. It's actually part of our engine. And